Welcome to another night in the NBA. This is your 10-minute recap of the last night of NBA hoops, and you know what the main topic has to be. We have to start with a potential finals preview. The reigning champion Denver Nuggets facing the team with the best record in the NBA by quite a large margin, the Boston Celtics. A powerhouse in the East versus a powerhouse in the West. It was set up to be a great matchup and something that would give us an idea of what a finals could look like, and it lived up to it because this was a very good game, a game that the Nuggets win by just 6 points, but it was close throughout. Like there were chances for the Celtics to win this game, but they don't, and it felt very reminiscent of the Celtics finals versus the Warriors a couple years ago because Jayson Tatum was not very good. He had 15 points on 38.5% from the field and was a -2 on the game. He just wasn't all that impactful when you'd expect him to be your most impactful player, just like he was in that finals, because I think Mike Malone pulled something from Steve Kerr's playbook there where he says, we're going to throw a bunch of length at Tatum and it's going to work. And they threw Wiggins and Draymond at him in the finals as well as some other guys. And then in this matchup, you see Aaron Gordon as well as Payton Watson, who's a super athlete, very long himself, and KCP getting in passing lanes as well. The three of them did a great job at essentially shutting down Jayson Tatum, but like in that finals, Jaylen Brown then goes off in response. 41 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists for Jaylen Brown on 55% from the field, was a +5 in a game that they lost by 6. Kristaps Porzingis also very good, and this is one of the things people were looking forward to heading into it. How would Kristaps Porzingis match up against Nikola Jokic? Because in years past, the Celtics just haven't had a big like this, who is this impactful of an offensive player, but also a really good rim protector. He had 24 points, 12 rebounds, did shoot just 39% from the field, but was a +6, which would be the best on the Celtics team over Jaylen Brown in terms of positive rating when he was on the floor. And he's not a Jokic stopper, but nobody's a Jokic stopper. I even think of it, there was a play down the fourth quarter, down the stretch, where he pulls the chair on Jokic, and it effectively works. Jokic spins, he doesn't meet a body, he throws up a shot, and it misses, but then Aaron Gordon gets this nasty putback dunk with his right hand, where he kind of cocks it back and swings it in. It was super impressive, and that's just kind of what it feels like facing the Nuggets. You feel like you do everything right, and you still give up points, because down the stretch there's just not a team that executes better than this Nuggets team. And this is tough because outside of Jokic, not really anyone played all that well for Denver, and they still win. In this game they shoot 19% from 3 and they win, which is insane. That just never happens in today's NBA. 4 for 21 from 3-point range. They didn't shoot well in the first game they played either, and they still won that one as well. So the 3-point shooting apparently doesn't matter for Denver, which is not a good sign for Boston, because Denver last postseason was phenomenal as a shooting team. So if they all of a sudden start hitting shots, these close games, first one decided by 2 and then this one by 6, could be 20-point games, and then it's just not the same at all. Nikola Jokic though, 32 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, a really strong boost to his MVP case. Aaron Gordon, I would say, was pretty solid, 16 and 9 on 53% shooting. And then Payton Watson, 11 points, but felt like he had a super high impact. He was everywhere. A +11 in a game that they win by 6 points. 56% from the field as well. I really love the Payton Watson minutes. He was really impressive, and he's going to play a large part on this team moving forward. Jamal Murray, 19, 6 and 8, but shot under 40% from the field. But Nuggets win the potential finals preview, and they just look like they're a level above the Celtics Celtics team right now in terms of execution, in terms of offense, defense, and coaching. It's a tough look for Boston, but that's it for the main topic. Now let's move into some other action from around the NBA. So in other action around the NBA, we did have 6 other games on the night, 7 in total, including that Nuggets-Celtics game. But let's just start off with the early ones and then progress through the night and get an idea of what happened on this night of NBA hoops. Let's start off with Timberwolves versus Pacers, a game after the T-Wolves got terrible news as Karl Anthony Towns was reported to have a torn meniscus, will be out at least a month, and could be out for the entire season. It was heartbreaking news for a team that was overachieving at all levels, is the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, and hoped to really make some noise in the playoffs, but Towns really hurt. So going into this game in Indiana, a lot of people just expected the Pacers to run away with it, but they didn't, because Anthony Edwards decided to have the best game of his career. 44 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and this game-winning block, which is one of the craziest blocks I've ever seen, hit his head on the rim. He was so high up blocking this shot. Buzzer sounds, Timberwolves win because of Anthony Edwards' greatness and how phenomenal he was. Then the second game, we have Pistons versus Nets in Detroit, but the Nets had been really good as of late, had won 3 of their last 4, even 4 of their last 6, and under head coach Kevin Ollie, they'd been really impressive. They'd really locked in defensively and been a great defensive team, but they run into Detroit on the wrong night, and they look phenomenal because their 2 guards went off. 32 points, 11 assists, and 5 rebounds for Cade Cunningham, then 34 points for Jaden Ivey. I don't know how Monty Williams just ran for like 28 straight losses and wasn't like, hey, let's give Jaden Ivey more minutes. Let's give Jaden Ivey the ball more. It's not that hard. They have 2 guards that are clearly cornerstone pieces of their franchise, but for some reason Monty Williams hated Jaden Ivey. But now the Pistons get their 10th win of the season and officially pass Washington, who has 9. Don't want to be that team. Brooklyn gets 31 from Dennis Schroeder on 71% shooting from the field, and the story of this one is rebounding, because the Pistons get 50 rebounds compared to Brooklyn's 28, and that difference makes the game. The absence of Day'Ron Sharpe apparently was much more impactful than maybe people thought it would be. Dallas beats Miami in Dallas, 114 to 108. The Mavs take them down thanks to 35, 11, and 11 for Luka Doncic. Now maybe he's despite the win man, because he's putting up numbers and wins. That's what we want to see. 23 for Kyrie Irving. The Heat do get 27, 11, and 6 from Terry Rozier. Easily his best game as a member of the Heat, but they do still lose. Then you have Suns versus Raptors. Again, the Raptors, no Scotty Barnes these days, out with the broken hand. No Jakob Poeltl, no Bruce Brown, but because of that, Phoenix takes it. 26 for Grayson Allen, who hits 7 threes in the first quarter. He's been super hot lately, and just for the season as a whole, Grayson Allen has been the best shooter in the NBA, which I think would not be expected by all that many people. 35 for Kevin Durant, 20 for Bradley Beal, and then the 2 former Knicks both play well for Toronto. 21 points and 18 assists for Emmanuel Quickley, 23 points for RJ Barrett. And then second to last game of the night that we have here, we have Kings versus Spurs, a game that the Kings should have won easily because there's no Victor Wembanyama, but they do only win it by 2, and that's thanks to the heroics of Domantas Sabonis, who had 31, 17, and 9 on 74% shooting. For the last game, the Bulls take down the Warriors in their home court in Golden State because of a Steph injury. Steph was out down the stretch with an injury, but the Bulls win it. 33 for DeMar, 33 for Vooch, and 20 for Kobe White. The Warriors get 25 from Klay Thompson, but nobody else scores over 20 points. But that'll do it for this night in the NBA, another night in the NBA. Now let's get into the next segment. This is the Moneyline Hotline, the place that keeps your bets from going cold. So we did lose the best bet of the day yesterday with the Nets versus the Pistons. The Nets have been rolling. The Pistons had just won one out of their last 10. So I said, let's take a shot on the Nets here under Kevin Ollie. They do lose. I thought about going Dallas. I was kind of between the two. I should have went Dallas, but hey, you live and you learn. We're still 7 for 9 with the best bets of the day. Very high level in terms of how we're doing there, but there's room to improve, and we can be better, and I'll strive to be better. But now we kick up the ladder again, starting with today. The Timberwolves minus 102. They're actually underdogs because even is minus 110. They're minus 102 versus the Cavs. Turn your $10 to $19.80. Despite no Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Evan Mobley, the Cavs are still favored against Minnesota. Yes, Towns is out, but we saw yesterday the Timberwolves can be really impressive and still beat good teams, as they beat the Pacers in Indiana with that fantastic Anthony Edwards game. And I think that the Timberwolves will take this one as well. Then we move into the model predictions for the day as a whole. Today, March 8th, the best bet again is Timberwolves, and the model that I created says it is plus 6.0, which is a clear favorite. It is not a flip game. It's not even a standard game. The Timberwolves are clear favorites talent-wise over the Cavs, and they are minus 102. Again, turn your $10 to $19.80. That is one of the underdogs, and we have another one as well. The Knicks are plus 1, which is a flip game over the Magic. If Jalen Brunson is out, it goes to minus 2.4. The Knicks right now plus 100, turn $10 to $20. And then the parlay today, I really like it. Thunder, Pelicans, Wolves, and Rockets to win plus 373. It just feels like a little better value than usual because the Pelicans are playing the Sixers. Tyrese Maxey is still out with that concussion. The Wolves again playing the Cavs with no Donovan Mitchell and those guys. The Rockets are playing the Trailblazers, who have been ravaged by injuries, and the Thunder are playing Miami, who still has no Tyler Hero, Kevin Love, or Josh Richardson, and this game is in OKC, as well as the Heat being on the second night of a back-to-back. So I really like this value-wise. Plus 373, turn your $10 to $47.37. Really good payout there, really good value. But now, let me tell you first, actually, follow the Twitter at @themoney_line for the picks. As soon as they come out, you'll get them as quick as possible, and that's the best way to get the picks immediately. Now let's move into the top 5 players of the night according to me. At number 1, we have Nikola Jokic in the finals preview. 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists, shooting 58% from the field. Looked like the best player on the court easily. He's the best player in the league, and he dominated Boston to lead his team to a win, despite his teammates not playing great and the team as a whole shooting 19% from 3. Jokic takes them over the finish line and they win. At number 2, we have Anthony Edwards for his masterclass. 44 points, 6 rebounds, 4 stocks, including the game-winning block, and he needed it. The team needed it after that awful Towns news. A really kind of gutsy performance from Anthony Edwards. At number 3, we have Jaylen Brown with 41 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists on 55% shooting from the field, looking like the $300 million man that he is. At number 4, we have Domantas Sabonis, who you could argue is number 1, but the other players to me felt like more big moments, so I'm going to put him at 4 because he was playing the Spurs without Wemby. I didn't think it should be as close as it was, so because of that, I guess I'm penalizing him a little bit, but I'm going to throw him in at 4. 31 points, 17 rebounds, 9 assists on 74% shooting from the field. Phenomenal game from Sabonis. Then at number 5, I'm going to give it to Cade Cunningham for his performance in their win, their 10th win of the year. 32 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds, and shoots 50% from deep. Has been much better from deep this season, and that's going to be huge for his development moving forward. But a lot of other valuable guys who you could have put up here. Emmanuel Quickley's performance was really impressive. Dennis Schroeder had a great game. So did Terry Rozier. Luka Doncic was phenomenal again as well. Maybe we're getting desensitized to how fantastic Luka Doncic is. But to me, this is the top 5 for the day. And then, of course, we'll get into the top play of the day, which to me is this one. You've already seen it. It's the Anthony Edwards game-winning block against the Pacers. But no viewer submitted questions today that I saw, so we're going to wrap it up here. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the daily recaps because I love making them. So hopefully you think about subscribing, watching some more. I'm on the road to 13,000 subscribers, so definitely sub down below. Drop a comment, let me know your thoughts for a chance to be featured in the next video. But that's going to do it for me. So have a good one, guys. That's it. Peace.